I've learned over the years that the thing that keeps women from taking that step towards the freedom and wonder of a solo road trip is a four-letter word: fear. Fear stops us from doing so many things in our lives, some with good reason, but in many cases, we just let it paralyze us. And we talk ourselves way too easily into the it's just not safe. And we miss enormous blessings and upsides to what's around the bend if you're just willing to take a look. We're afraid to try something new. We're afraid of failure, and we're afraid of all of the what ifs. Gosh, I have a lot to say about fear, but not today. Today, we're going to go straight into the heart of equipping ourselves to move beyond that fear in the most practical way. I'm Bing from WonderBing Travel, and as you can see, I'm in my car today because that's where it all happens. And our topic today is safety, and it seems to me that I can speak better to you about safety if I'm in the place where most often safety is on my mind. I've been road tripping for over 50,000 miles, and that's a lot of opportunity for things to go wrong. And sometimes they have, but it's exceedingly rare that I have felt unsafe. I'm passionate about helping solo female road trippers create and build and then take their own personal journeys of wonder. And that, of course, includes feeling safe. So I have a free gift for you today because I believe that every woman needs to take a solo road trip at some point. It will be one of the most freeing and confidence-building things you'll ever do. I think that creating space for yourself on a road trip has incredible benefits for your life that extend long after you'll get home. So click on the link in the description for wonderbingtravel.com/going solo, and you'll be one step closer to seeking your very own brand of wonder. And today's topic, safety. Today I'm sharing 5 safety tips for your solo female road trip. We will definitely talk about anxiety and feeling scared on another day. But for now, I want you to add these tips to your arsenal so that when you do go, you're going to feel a little more confident and prepared. Let's dive into it. So the romance is real on a road trip. That wonder, it's palpable. And though far less miraculous, a more tangible awareness is totally necessary, especially when you're by yourself. Traveling alone as a female requires a measure of diligence and preparation, and then also a commitment to really paying attention to what's going on around you. Our eyes have to be open to notice more than the wonder, though that is always going to be our primary focus. Committing time to consider safety issues. It may not be the most glamorous part of your trip, but the little investment that you make into your own safety will ensure that you're not going to sacrifice joy and wonder because you're not prepared and that you end up feeling scared. So first off, let's revisit that I said safety tips. These are just wise choices and tactics and tips to help you make good decisions about your own safety. I have many, many, many more, and I've also written a book that includes an entire chapter on road trip safety. I'll include the link in the bottom, so please check it out. Okay, 5 tips, right? The first one, and it's really the one that's sort of the umbrella over all of them, is to have a plan. I don't mean over-plan and that you have to know what you're doing every day. No, but I think I've learned over time that having somewhat of a plan, knowing that I'm not entering into, quote, the great unknown all the time, gives me a lot of confidence, and it makes me feel more certain about my next steps. And it means also that I have a little bit of control over my choices. Knowing what the roads are that you're going to travel, knowing where there might be cell service or for sure not cell service, places you're going to eat, places you're going to stay, places you're going to hike or walk or sightsee. It's good to have a good sense of that ahead of time. And then if you feel anxious at all about any of those things, you can check them out in advance. Number 2, touch base with somebody every day. Now, I've written a lot in my book, and I talk a lot about solo road tripping, and I really believe that you want to do things on your own. This isn't over communicating to people so you're on your phone all day long while you're traveling. No, this is about safety, about touching base with somebody every day so somebody knows where you are. You can also use Find an iPhone or another app on your phone where you can let a person or a few people be able to see your location at all times. And that way, if they don't hear from you, they can check in and at least see where you are. I know that gives my kids peace. It gives me peace as well. Before you leave home, be sure that there is at least one other person who can check your whereabouts at any given time. Okay, number 3, the safety of your stuff. So my basic rule is to never ever keep all my valuables in the same place when I travel. I can work around individual losses of things, but losing everything at once would become a disaster real quick. So priority goes to the items that I need frequently and immediately several times a day. So my general rule of thumb is to never ever be without these, even if I'm just making a 2-minute pit stop. So when I'm on the road, I'm in and out of my vehicle tons of times during the day. So I try to keep it super simple so I don't forget. And also it includes only the items that I think are of ultimate importance. So your list might differ a little bit as you figure out your own level of comfort when you're walking away from your car to explore, to spend the night somewhere, or even just to get gas or go into a 7-Eleven or a restroom. So for me, it's really just 4 things. My phone. I always take my phone with me anytime I walk out of my car. If something happens to my car, I still have access to all the things, right? So I keep on the back of my phone a magnetic pouch that holds my credit card or debit card. It holds my driver's license. And so those are with me at all times. So I just can grab one thing and I have all 3. The last thing is my car key. I keep it on a lanyard when I travel so that when I'm hiking, it can be put around my neck. It's just easy. It also unclips as well, so if I don't need all of it, and I can just stick that in my pocket. Now, I have other things on here right now, but when I travel, I literally just have my car key on here, and my house key is elsewhere in my car. I don't keep it with me, so makes it super simple. So those are the 4 things. Have them with me all the time. And the older I get, the easier it is for me to forget about things. And if I have too many things to remember, and believe me, when you're traveling on your own, and for me also with my dog, there are a lot of moving parts. And so I don't want to get bogged down with thinking about too many things. So I just want to keep it simple. Also, wherever I may be sleeping, whether it's in a hotel or an Airbnb or a tent, yes, I do that. These are the items that remain always within grabbing distance if the need should arise. Not trying to scare anybody, but I'm just saying I don't want to be fumbling around for them in case of any kind of emergency. I want them right there. Okay, tip number 4 is the top secret access. Okay, so this is, I think, super important. Something I've learned just a long time ago, that it's important to have a secret place in your vehicle to keep items that are for your eyes only. And even then, only in case of emergency. So it's not things that I'm going to need every day. And in some cases, I may not need it the entire road trip. So several years ago, I purchased a locked /proof bag. This is it. It's empty right now, that I can hide in my SUV. It has a combination lock on it, and I can connect it around something so that it cannot be removed and it cannot be broken into. There are lots of things that I keep in there. I realize it's not very big, but I will talk in other videos about all the things that go in there, and it's also in my book. But not the least of which goes in there is just cash. I don't carry cash on me all the time, but I do keep some petty cash in the car with me, and then I keep a little bit of a stash of cash in that bag. And I also keep my extra car key in there. One note about the extra car key, this is a really cool tip, and it's just super important, and it's something that you probably wouldn't think about. My car starts remotely as long as someone is in this car, and that key, no matter where it is in my car, anyone who breaks in my car could start my car and drive off. So I know some people swear by hiding a key magnetically, like under the vehicle somewhere or in a wheel well, but I drive a lot of bumpy back roads, and that makes me nervous. So here's what I do. I do keep my spare key in the safety pouch, but before I do that, I take it apart, I pop the battery out, and then I put all of this and the battery into a Ziploc and put that in this bag. That way, if the car is broken into, you'd have to really look to find this in my car. And the key is stored safely somewhere and nobody can drive away with it quite as easily. And the last thing is a personal checklist. So every day when I travel, whether it's for 2 days or I'm gone for a month, those few moments before I leave and pull out of wherever I am are usually filled with excitement for the day ahead. I can't wait to get going. And there's always potentially a bit of confusion as I pile things back in the car after usually what's just an overnight stay in many cases. So I feel like when I travel this way, there's a lot of things in and out of the car and me in and out of the car and trying to keep track of my things. So I've learned how imperative it is to take a moment every morning and make sure that I have everything before I set out. And when I say everything, I realize I could be leaving a notebook behind or something like that, or my toothbrush. I'm talking about the important stuff. So what works best for me is that I've created a short mental list of items that I never want to leave without. I go through it every morning before I pull out. I say it out loud to myself, and I run through it before I start the car. And it is, to no surprise, my phone, my keys, also the credit, debit card, driver's license. So again, those are all together. My laptop and chargers, and then also my dog, which it's really unlikely that I would forget her, but I don't know. The older I get, it's always a possibility. And then the last thing are my glasses and my sunglasses. So I need to have all of those things in order to have a happy day. And anything else that I might lose is probably not tragic, but losing those things would be bad. So that's it. Those are my 5 things. And now a deep breath, everyone. The land of safety measures and worst case scenarios is not where we choose to dwell, though investing a bit of time and thought into all of it, it will provide you with more peace in your adventure, and that is so important. The joy is in the journey. So file away what resonates with you, what gives you solace, what gives you confidence. You will make your own path in this area and find what makes you feel comfortable. You'll pick and choose what works best for you and your unique brand of travel and wonder. It is going to be different for everybody. It's so important that you're not trying to just replicate everything that I or someone else does, because your brand of wonder and freedom is different than everyone else's. But hopefully this helps. It's time to pack your bags. Want to know more about safety tips, travel tips, heck, how to confidently plan the whole dang thing? Download the guide. Again, download the guide and subscribe to this channel and you won't miss a thing. I'll see you on the road.